back. It is the 9th of August. We're going to take a look here. It's been a while. We're going to look at Moonwell / the United States dollar. Our ticker is WELLUSD on tradingview.com. This is a daily chart we're going to go through, and the data here is from Coinbase, guys. So I like to use the Coinbase exchange charts when I can. Coinbase should be easy access for most people here. And then they also have the Coinbase Pro if you're into trading. All right, it's been a while. Let's see what's going on. We got markets. We got things happening here in the cryptocurrency markets. Things are happening. We're going to jump into it. Take a look at the chart here, the daily chart on Moonwell. We used to cover this in a little bit more regular basis, but time goes on. So we have the 50-day moving average here starting to tick its little head up here. That's a good sign. The 200-day will take some time, but assuming trends move higher, that will happen. 50-day obviously is a much shorter time frame. It will start to move sooner rather than later. If we take a zoom closer into the charts here, we're starting to see an unfolding to the upside take place here. We're in the early stages, but so we had this market do a you call it a double bottom. It took out the lows, bear trap. So we took out the lows here from the 2nd of August. Looks like they were 2.7, so 2 cents, almost 3 cents. We took those lows out on the 6th of August, put in a low all the way down at 2.5, and closed way up in the range, closed actually above the low from the 2nd of August, and now we've taken off to the upside. So that was a solid shakeout. That was a bear trap. So usually when markets do something like that, people get more bearish, and it happened to recover. And then, this is triggered with, call it a short squeeze or whatever. And then we also made a new higher high. So we also took out the highs here from the 4th of August. So not only do we have a takeout of the lows and rally, we have a complete reversal to the upside, taking out a recent high. So this market was creating, that's a higher low. This is a lower high. This is another higher low, or excuse me, another lower low. This is a lower high, lower low, and then all of a sudden, the 180 flip was we rally into a higher high. Is this 100% a change in trend back to the upside? Not quite, but it's very close. So we're going to see two things play out here. I guess one of two play out. This market's either going to continue to pump, probably up to 363, find resistance, and then pull back, and we'll see that higher low. Wherever that higher low comes in, that's when we get that complete change in trend. Now, it doesn't always work out like that. If we look at, we'll come back to this chart in just a moment. Here's what we're seeing for Aerodrome Finance. Let me get my correct tool here. Aerodrome Finance, same thing. This is a nicer chart, but took out the lows, rallied, put in a higher high. We took out the highs here from the 4th of August. Boom, boom, boom. So this market really took off, and we also took out these highs over here from the 22nd of July. So the higher low has not come in yet. At some point it will. So again, it's not always as perfect as that drawing was. Let's go back to Moonwell. But that's what we're really looking for here. But in this kind of market condition, if we're heading into a alt season where these markets start to go parabolic, the chances of us going just straight up are greater than us hanging out here, pulling back, and then starting to pump. In a normal market condition where, an asset, for example, Moonwell, is just going to go on a run to the upside, that's what we'll see. Looks like we saw it over here. So we had a low come in, markets moved up, actually made a little bit of a higher high here with a wick, hung out, put in a higher low, and then we put in another higher high. This came in the other way. We took out the lows, then made a higher high. Again, this could continue to pump up here to 3.6. If it's anything like Aerodrome Finance, it's going to go up here to 4.2, if not higher. anyways, the point is, it looks like we're heading into a season here where these smaller cap coins are starting to move, and we're going to look at Bitcoin and the Bitcoin dominance chart. So as far as to the upside, some price targets we're going to talk about here based on some recent moves. We have a target. Now, we're not going to ignore the resistance here, or they are price targets, but they can act as resistance. 3.6, 4.2, and 4.8. 4.2 happens to fall right into where this market double topped on the 20th of July, as well as the 30 and 31st of May. Above that is 4.8. What we're really looking for a full move here would be up to right around that 54.8 level, or excuse me, 54.5 level right in here. And again, if it's anything like Aerodrome, it could happen quick. It could happen in, a day or two. That would be about a 73% move to the upside. Now, is Moonwell going to go higher than that? If we're heading into that right kind of season where these coins go, I would expect it's going much, much higher than that, guys. So a full move here would take us, at least the way I look at this market. Again, if we're heading into a real alt season and we basically see markets pump across the board, I was up here at like the 25 or 29 is right up in this range. So we'll call it 25 to 29 right in here. Now that's what I see. I think that's pretty realistic in a true alt season. And it's probably pretty conservative. People probably are thinking it's going much higher, but let's not mistake here. This thing's at 3 cents right now. So if we got up to that 5.4, that's about what did I say that was? 74 or 174? 5.4, where is that? About a 70 or so % move to the upside. Then we have a bunch of other levels in here. We have some resistance up here at the right around 9-10 cents. That's about a 200% move back to the highs over here. 11-12 cents, about 250. And then if we go up to there to that 20-25 area, that's about a 600 and so, or 650, call it. And then up to right around 29 was that last one, right around, you call it 800%. No guarantee it's going to happen, guys, but in the right conditions, it could easily happen, and it could be very conservative, and the market can go much higher. In the short term, again, I think a move up here to right around this 5.4 is very reasonable. It's really not too much to ask for. Again, if we go back to the Aerodrome finance chart, once we saw this market make a new higher high, it was the same dates too. The market took out the highs here from the 4th of August, and then 1, 2, and today, third day, things are a little quiet, but we took out our highs over here. So if we go back to Moonwell, the Moonwell chart, that would be basically like today pumping all the way up to call it 3.6, and then tomorrow taking us up to 4.2 and probably closer to 4.8. So that can happen pretty quick. And my target for the short term is up there at 5.4. It's really not that much higher. We shall see. So that's what I got here for Moonwell. We'll keep an eye on it. Again, the highest I have based on this chart is about an 800% move up there to 29 cents or so in the right conditions. So the Bitcoin dominance chart is a beautiful bearish chart. We're about to get they call it a death cross, 50 below the 200. I mean, we have a massive sell-off. We took out some very important lows over here around the 62% level. Crashed right through the 200-day, rallied up, flipped it into resistance, put in a higher low, came in up here, put in a higher high, but found resistance. Another higher low, lower high, and then we've just been cliff diving. We took out the lows here from the 28th. We took out the lows here from the 20th. And it's very, very bearish. We've seen this game play before. We go back in time here. This took a little bit longer. We kind of hung out here and then found resistance once we got that cross below the 200-day with the 50. And then we just basically went straight down for, I guess we'd call it like 2 months or so. And we shall see how this plays out here. But so far, we are seeing, and it's interesting, we have Bitcoin up right now. We have money flowing out of Bitcoin, though. And this chart tells us that although Bitcoin is up right now, it's full of air. It's full of air. It's not strong. This rally for Bitcoin right now is the money is getting pulled out of Bitcoin and going into other coins. And that's why we're seeing smaller cap coins start to move. Essentially, we're heading into a altcoin season. We have Ethereum. It's up 5% today. So, exciting news for people holding other cryptos. Here is the Bitcoin chart. We have Bitcoin moving up. We are trying to get above the 116,834 level. Exciting times, guys. Let's head over to CoinMarketCap real quick. So here is the altcoin season indicator. We're at a 40. It's got a long way to go, but it looks like it's heading in the right direction. Fear and greed. We're basically at a neutral market. There's not too much greed, not too much fear. This would tell us that we are far from our market top. This thing should be pinned at max grade if the markets were going straight up. Looks like the yearly high, November of 2024, we were at an 88. And this winter, when the markets were bottoming, we're at a 15. So we got a long way to go. Guys, thanks for watching. All links down below. If you're interested in our trading signals membership, there's a link down there for that as well. You guys have a great day. Of course, not financial advice.